everyone, I'm Kelly and this is Kelly Hill Yoga, 30 Days of Yoga, Day 18. I'm so happy to be here once again, hanging out by the fire. And what is better to do by fire than warm up your fingers and your toes, right? Especially on a cold winter day like it has been here today. And we're gonna just do some small, fun little movements in our fingers and some self-massage with our feet as we do a little gentle restorative practice today. And when I say restorative, I just mean bringing ourselves in and hanging out and knowing that even these simple, small days where we're just focused on maybe smaller areas of the body like our fingers and toes, that they are really just as important as those days that we are doing really big postures like full body days that we did a few days ago. And it's really important to stay mindful and focused during these practices because, once again, this is all about you and your time and spending time with yourself for some self-care and self-practice. So here we are, ready to start day 18, and let's get started. So when you're ready, we'll just come to a nice seated position on your mat. Head over heart, heart over pelvis. Hands rested gently on your knees or folded in your lap, just wherever you can find ease in this posture. Just become aware of your breath as we inhale and exhale any frustration or tension we might hold. Really build your body from the ground up mentally to be really present in our practice today. And put a nice little smile on your face to bring ease. Nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the nose. Wonderful. When you're ready, take both arms, reach up and overhead, really finding a stretch on both sides of the body, wiggling the fingers. Exhale, bend your elbows, pulling your shoulder blades together. Draw your hands down. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale. Cactus arms, bring those arms down. One last time. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Just kind of waking things up a little bit before we get into our hanging out with our fingers and toes today. I know it may sound silly, but I promise you by the end of this, you will feel so much better and have some major release, especially in your feet after we give them a nice little massage. So let's just roll the shoulders back so we come really high up to the ears, down and away, rolling the shoulders a few times. Beautiful. Kind of switch directions. Nice. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, reach over to the left, just ever so gently. Back to center. Arms up and overhead. Reach over to the other side. Beautiful. Back to center. Now let's go ahead and set our shoulders because we do want to make sure that we don't cave in or come any too far forward at any point in our practice today. So let's just set our shoulders. And when I say that our shoulder blades are like this, let's just bring them kind of together. Imagine that there is a pencil in between them and you're holding that pencil there, just really building a nice, strong, supported shoulder girdle. Deep breath as you pull your chest forward. Just stay nice and proud. Then we're going to reach the hands forward, palms face down, fingers really spread. Being very aware, not coming too far on our shoulders, keeping them nice and set. Beautiful. Now let's turn our hands up so the palms are forward. Almost like you're doing, what is it, Iron Man pose. My nephew would love that one. Nice. And then let's point the fingers down. Get a nice stretch in front of the wrists. Great. Now we're going to take our hands back to that fun Iron Man reaching. And if your shoulders have come forward, let's think about pulling them back again, just in case. Our hands, palms faced forward. And we're going to rotate your hands away from each other so then the fingers are pulled down. We're just going to go through this a few times. And we're not turning in the shoulders or anywhere. This is all in the wrists and forearms where this is happening. Just really staying aware. Don't let your shoulders walk forward. And let's just pretend there's a wall in front of us and we're rotating our hands along that wall, right? A few more times. Keeping our shoulders protracted or pulled down and away. So we do this little bit of motion in our hands. Great. And now we're going to take our fingers back to this palms forward, and then we're going to point the fingers down as there's a gigantic pop in the fire. Sorry. Point the fingers down and up. Just a few times. Really being mindful of this movement. Keeping it slow and deliberate. And let's go ahead and bring their hands down and just shake everything out real quick. Especially the hands, shoulders a little. Nice. And let's bring your right hand forward. And you're going to have your fingers pointed down, your palm faced forward. Let's grab that pinky ever so gently, and we're going to pull gently down to the tip of your finger. So you're going to start where your finger meets your hand and pull slightly down. And when you get towards the tip, then gently bring it back towards you. Moving on to your next finger, gently pull it down and back. Beautiful. Through each finger. Not yanking any fingers or anything, just gently pulling down and back. Then let's grab all those fingers, push the wrist forward as you gently pull your fingers back. Just really feel nice and open in your wrist here. And then last but not least, let's grab that thumb. So let's rotate your finger back, or your hands back around so your fingers are up now. Pull that thumb out and then back. Really nice. Shake it out, wiggle those fingers, and then we'll take it to the other side. So palm face forward, fingers pointed down towards the ground, and then gently just pulling on the pinky finger down and back. Pulling down and back through each finger. Just getting a really nice stretch. And you play with the depth of however far or hard you want to pull. Some people like to pull on their fingers to crack them. I'm just not one of those people. It's all about you. Then let's grab all of your fingers with your right hand and then gently pull back as you push your wrist forward. Nice. Release. Rotate that hand so your fingers are pointing up towards the sky. Let's pull on that thumb on your left hand and then pull back. Great. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Really nice. All right, we're just going to do one little gentle stretch before we get into massaging our feet. So we're going to do a butterfly pose. So instead of having our heels really close, we're going to have them really far away. So just really nice wide stance in this butterfly pose, and then we're just going to come down to the elbows, or if you'd like, pull your forearms underneath. Let your head rest or hang so you get a nice stretch in the back side of your body. Just going to stay here for a few rounds of breath. Nice, gentle, relaxed release. This might feel good in the shoulders since we just kind of fired them up a little bit. Just remembering to be present in this moment. If any frustrations or anything are starting to roll in and knocking at the door again, let's release them. Remember that it's okay to do restful, gentle days too. Not every day has to be pushing your body to the limits. This whole idea of this 30 days of yoga, this whole program is just being happy to spend time with yourself. And be willing to tell yourself that it's okay to want that time to yourself, which can be really hard to admit. Just really letting that head hang nice and heavy. Great. And if you had your forearms under your legs or wherever your arms are at, let's just gently walk back up to seated. My eyes are watering like crazy right now. Gently come back up to seated. And we're going to grab and start with our right foot. So if you want to bring your right foot to rest on your left thigh, or if this is too intense in the knees, just however you can get a nice hold on that right foot. And what we're going to do is take our hands and both thumbs, just start at the base of your heel and take both thumbs and apply pressure all the way down the bottom of your foot to your toes. Just a few times, boosting circulation, really playing with the depth. If you really want to dig in with your thumbs, you're more than welcome to, but not causing pain or anything. Almost like you're kind of like squeezing that last little bit of toothpaste out from the bottom up through the toes. Nice. Just rubbing. And now doing any little bit of movement that you might want to do. So if you want to take your palm and pull your toes almost like you're forcing your foot, not forcing, pulling your foot to point, and then taking the toes and doing the opposite. Just hanging out here. Get a nice massage of the foot. Who would have thought you could have some release in massaging your own feet? All right, let's take our fingers and interweave them. And if this is the first time you've done it, it's okay if you can maybe only do it with 2 of your toes. The more you do this, the more you should be able to intertwine your fingers. So you're going to take your fingers and put them between your toes. And like I said, it's totally okay if you can only do it with a few of your toes. So whatever amount you can get with your fingers in between your toes, just really nice and spreading them apart. And then do not squeeze with your fingers, squeeze your fingers with your toes. So just your toes are doing the squeeze. Just your toes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Release. One more time. Squeeze just the toes, not squeezing with your fingers. Release. Nice. And very similar to what we did with our fingers a little bit ago, let's just play with pulling on each one of our toes. Gently pulling, finding length in them, and then bending, but showing love to each toe individually. Oh, I just got a nice crack in one of mine. Wonderful. Let's switch sides. So if you need to stretch out that right leg first, so bring the left foot, hang on top of the right thigh. Once again, we're just going to start with our thumbs, doing this, applying this pressure from the heel all the way up to the top of your foot. Slow and deliberate. This is also a good time if you notice that you need a pedicure, especially in winter when our feet are covered with socks, right? I'm looking at my feet right now like, yowza. Just a few more times. Playing with the depth again, like if you really want to get into the fascia, get nice and deep with your fingers just to release. And then transitioning into any little bit of massage, whether it's putting the palm of your hand and bending the toes back, forward, just massaging, rotating your foot, showing some love to our feet. I mean, it's like the best part when you do get a pedicure, right? All right, and then going through each toe, or let's do our fingers first. So once again on this side, interlacing, like you're holding hands with your toes, our fingers, right? And then however many you can get, we're gonna squeeze our toes into our hand. Squeeze, not your fingers into your toes, toes into fingers. Release. Give it another squeeze. Release. And then And doing that little bit of a pull on each toe individually, showing individual love to each one. Oh yeah. Great. And then when you're all done giving your feet some love, let's bring our legs straight out in front of us, looking at our toes. We're staying nice and tall, not getting hunched down. We are being mindful of head over heart, heart over pelvis. And let's just look down at our toes. And starting with the left foot, try and spread your toes really far apart. Spreading them. Nice. Release. Now let's look at our right foot. Send some energy down there. Build that neurological pathway that we've talked about before. And let's spread our right toes. Really nice and wide. Beautiful. Now let's take both feet and do it at the same time. Sending pathways down to both feet. Spread the toes. Really nice and wide. And you may have only a small amount of movement, but the more you do this, the more you will be able. Let's just curl the toes and bring them back. Pull your toes, just your toes towards you. Nice. But the more you do this, the more your toes will start to spread over time. So it's okay if you're looking and nothing's happening. That's okay. You're still sending a thought down there. Nice. And let's bring everything back in. Get ready to close up for the day. Today was a nice short day, just showing a little bit of love to our fingers and toesies, hanging out by the fire. And once again, like I talked about, it's just days like today, it may seem easy or short, but it's all about being present right here and just having that moment where you are sending your thought and your energy right out to the very tip of your toes and fingers, and just knowing the importance of that and being very present. So let's just come back to a nice seated position. We are going to have a little bit of meditation this evening. Just when I say that, just being mindful with your breath, really staying focused. So let's get a nice comfy seat, head over heart, heart over pelvis, just wherever you can find ease. Take a nice elongated inhale in, and exhale all the way into the tip of your fingers. Deep inhale in, exhale to the tip of your fingers. And let's just do this as we inhale. We feel the energy come in, and exhale. Send it to your body. Keeping our thoughts pulled inward. And like I've talked about before, if you feel like you just can't focus, maybe just internally have that little voice just say, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Having that be your focal point. just your breath. Nothing else. Keeping it within the space you're in, within yourself. Don't let the mind wander, reel it back in. Stay within yourself. I know it can be scary, but it also can be very powerful. Come back to the breath. If you've started to leave, come back to the breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Mindful, deliberate energy in, frustration, guilt, anxiety out. When you're ready, you can either choose to stay here within ourselves as long as you'd like, as much as you need today, knowing it's okay to be here, makes you better, empowers you. When you're ready, flutter the eyes open if you had them closed. Palms to our heart space. Let's show a moment of gratitude for this day. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. And I really love having these really mindful, gentle practices where it's just us and our mat, just hanging out, and there's not a whole lot of movement. There really are special days, so I appreciate you spending them with me and giving me your time and energy. As always, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you.